Welcome back. Come in. Take a seat. It's good to see you. You're looking very well. Tell me, how have you been? Okay. I see you look very well. I know that with you that sometimes it's far easier to put on a brave and happy exterior because you feel that people don't always want to see what is on the inside. Okay, don't worry. Can I get you anything before we start? Happy enough? Okay. Now obviously last time you were here, we went through a little bit of background into your life, your upbringing, dreams, aspirations, any trauma or concerns real major concerns that you might have had to endure in your life. And this session, we're actually going to take you through an Inkblot test. Now, the profile that we built up on you will allow me, in conjunction with the Inkblot, to start pathing out a road to a happier you. Okay? There is nothing more in this world, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that I want more than to make you better and to make you happy and to keep you happy. You have a good soul. You're a lovely person. Our last conversation, obviously I took home and I dwelled on it a little while and I thought about it. And the more I thought about it, the more I was just excited to get you back and move on to the next stage of our counsel, okay? Now again, I appreciate, as your psychiatrist, there can be some apprehension. I hope we address some of that in our first session, but every time we meet, we'll chip away block by block until this barrier that you keep dissolves entirely. Okay? Good. Now, I'll explain a little bit about the Inkblot before we actually proceed to it. Okay? The Inkblot test was created by a gentleman called Herman Rorschach, and it hasn't been as commonly used in mainland Europe as it has in the kind of Far East. The Japanese are a big component and a big supporter of the Inkblot test. The reason I like the Inkblot so much is because I have the experience to analyze the answers that a patient will put forward and be able to disregard what we would call red herrings. Sometimes a patient is afraid to answer what they think is the right answer, so they might give a false answer, or they might try to overanalyze it a little bit. Here, I like to cover every base. I like to get a full appreciation of your perspective in life. The Inkblot can be so helpful because I don't think we as human beings take into account just how easily influenced we are by our surroundings and our environment. I'll give you an example. 2 10-year-old boys live at opposite ends of the street. Every day they walk to school, they walk down their street. One turns left and one turns right towards their school. Okay, they do this for 5 years until they're 15 years old. The first boy walks to school takes his left turn down the street and goes to school, hassle-free. The second boy, halfway down his street, before his right turning, he comes across a dog that bounds out the house, a big brown dog. Every day bounds out the house, roaring and barking, to the point that the boy now walks to the other side of the road to avoid this uncomfortable encounter. This continues for 5 years. On the 15th birthday of each of these boys, they are both given a puppy. Now the first boy meets the puppy with nothing but positivity, excitement, and all the connotations people associate with puppies. The second boy, however, meets the puppy with trepidation, concern, nervosity, not necessarily afraid, but he doesn't feel comfortable. And this is just an example, but that's just one tiny factor of this boy's life that impacted his life in a way that people don't take into consideration. Now, if this 15-year-old boy was at a birthday party when he was given this puppy and he reacted as if he was afraid or nervous, the other friends would mock him, say he was weird, why are you afraid of a puppy? Because they don't take into consideration prior events of his life. And with the Inkblot test, how you answer can be a great indication as to your perception on life. And then I can look at what impacted your life to allow you to form these perceptions. Life has a horrible way sometimes of twisting our minds and our opinions. Now what we're here to do in the session today and every session thereafter is take these twists and just uncoil them, put them back to the way they should have been. Okay? I also want to emphasize there is absolutely no rush. Okay? I always purposely put you as my last appointment of the day. You can take as long as you need. I am in no rush to leave. You are my priority. You are my focus. Okay? I don't want you to feel any anxiety towards this test. Same as the first time. Let's not even call it a test. Let's just call it a quiz. Okay? Okay. Now, what we're going to do, I'll take you through the slides one by one. I'll present the slide to you, and what I would like is an answer between 1 and 3, 4 words max. So if I show you something that looks like a tree, you can say tree. If I show you something that looks like a building, you can say a building. After every answer, I'll take a note. Okay? At the end of the quiz, we're actually going to go back through the process, which is kind of unusual in Inkblot. But I want to go back, and I'm going to give you as long as you like on each slide to assess what you think you're seeing. Okay? And compare it to your first answer. Maybe why it might differ. This is important because, again, it helps highlight how looking at things in different lights. And again, it references our first session together about perspective. Seeing things with a bit more time and an experienced eye reveals things to us that we didn't see the first time. Okay? Good. comfortable? Relaxed? Good. Let's begin. This is the first image. Okay. What selection of words appeared in your mind when you saw this? Okay. That's good. That's a perfect answer. Short and to the point. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. As I think of this more as a quick fire round, if you like. Look at the image, see the image. What is it? Okay, good. Now, next image. What did you think you saw? Okay. No, it's perfectly acceptable. Don't fall into the trap of worrying about answers. Relax. See what you see. Okay. Okay. It's fine. And how about this one? Good. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay. And now this one. Okay. Okay. Doing very well. Just take your time. Next one. Okay. I understand. Good. Very good. Okay. Just a few more to go. Don't worry. And this one. Good. As I said, we're not looking for anything too specific. Just look and speak. You're doing really, really well, honestly. Okay. And this one. Good. Okay, 2 more to go, okay? What do you see here? Very clever. Well remembered. Now, as I said, all this was to do was to go through, look at the picture, fire off an answer. I've obviously taken a note of everything that you said you saw, and I realize you were aware of my little trick at the end. Well done. We're going to go back through the ones that we've only seen once, and I'm going to hold them there for a little bit longer. Have a look at the image. If you remember back to what you said before, fine. If not, just look at it, study it, and tell me what you see. If you want to describe it or anything, that's fine. You don't need to provide justification for what you see. That's very important. You don't need to tell me that I think this because of that and this comes round. The justification is unimportant. Just be as honest as you can. Okay, you're doing remarkably well. I know this is a little bit nervous sometimes, but don't worry. You're doing excellent. Okay. Now, you ready? Good. Just take a look and tell me what you see. Okay. No, that's perfectly acceptable. Okay. Yep. Very good. Very good. It's a perfect answer. Now I'll flip over and just take a moment to consider and analyze what you're looking at. I don't need to know why you think you see that, just Okay. Now, this one. Say what you think you're looking at. Okay. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, you ready for the next one? If you need to take a break or you need a drink, just let me know, okay? Good. Doing very well. Now this one. Yep. Okay. That's, I can understand. Don't worry. Maybe one day I'll let you do the Inkblot with me and you can scribble down my answers. I have actually done that in training before. I like to reverse a situation so I can experience it from the other side. I think that's quite important for me to live the experience, and then I can have a greater understanding and hopefully empathize a little bit. Okay, 4 to go, okay? This one again. If I can hold it up. Yeah, there's not much to see. Yep. Okay. And now this side. Okay. That's fine. You just have 2 more to go. Okay. Let's take a little look at this one for me. Dropbox around this and just give me a moment to like to evaluate some of my chicken scratches. Yeah, that ties in with that. That ties in with that. I can move this. That makes sense because of this down side and this two of those side. Okay. The good news, and this might come as a surprise to you, but it doesn't to me, you're absolutely not crazy. Okay? Even from the 5 minutes I've spent with my notes here, I can start to see some correlations between images, and even the order I show them in is very specific. Everything here obviously has a reason. I don't do anything just for the sake of doing it. I don't want to waste your time. And I'm going to take these home tonight and I'll analyze them, have a look at them, and as I said, combine them with our chat in the first session and the answers we pull from you there. Okay? And these two sessions coupled together will help formulate the third one, which I think is scheduled for 6 weeks. Yeah. And I think that's probably what we'll do. Every 6 weeks we'll have you back, have a discussion, have a chat, and keep moving forward. Okay? I know that sometimes life can seem a little bit too much to take. Sometimes we have feelings that we really wish we didn't. Sometimes we're exposed to scenarios and environments that nobody else seems to have to endure. And I want you to know that you're an amazing person. You survived all of that. You went through all of it. And you might feel like you're scarred. You might even feel like you're damaged, but you're not. All we need to do is untwist. Nothing is permanent. No damage is undoable. You've made great progress even since I last saw you. You seem happier. I know you're not perfect and you still hurt from time to time, but together we will get through this. I'm enormously proud of you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, with every fiber in my body. Okay? Thank you so much for coming back. I really think between the two of us, we're going to end up with the perfect version of yourself, the best version you can ever possibly be. Maybe you can't even imagine it yet. Maybe it seems intangible. But nothing of the mind is impossible. I'm a psychiatrist. I know. Thank you again. This takes a